So I'm starting off with this SENNA eye primer and I'm applying that with my fingers all over the moving part of my lid up to beneath my eyebrow. Moving on to the Naked 3 palette, I'm going into a light pink shimmer. This is the shade Buzz, and I'm using the flat shader brush end of the brush that comes with this palette to swipe that all over the moving part of my lid. For the inner corner highlight, I'm going into the shade Strange, which is a satin cream color that I'm also placing right beneath the eyebrow as well. Now I'm moving on to the shade Trick, which is a light pink tone copper, and I'm placing that in the outer corner of my eye, blending it in with the pink using that same flat shader brush that I was using before. Next, I'm flipping the brush and using the fluffy shader in the shade Limit, which is a light matte dusty rose, and I'm using that to blend out my crease. Almost done with the shadows, I'm moving on to Burnout, which is a very light shimmery pink, and I'm placing that on the inner corner on my lower lash line. And then the last shadow is Burnout, and I'm just taking that on a tiny little brush and using that to line my upper lash line that I'll then flip, because this brush has a liner brush on the other side, and I'll use that to thin it out and make it a little more precise yet still smudgy. Then for a little bit more drama, I'm using Stila's Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Navy along my lower waterline. Then I'm following that up with mascara. This is Bare Minerals Lash Domination Volumizing Mascara, and I'm just swiping that all over my upper and lower lashes. Now I'm going to color correct. This was a palette from BH Cosmetics that I recently reviewed, so I wanted to show you how to use it or how I use it. First, I take the green in a small, precise brush and I cover any redness I have around my face, including small blemishes or the area beside my nose that tends to get a little red in the wintertime. Then because my under eye circles tend to lean more towards blue-purple, I use a yellow color to neutralize that. You can see it really brightens it up overall. Now moving on to foundation, this is CoverGirl's Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1, and I'm using the Real Techniques blending sponge to apply that. Back to the concealer palette, I use the lightest color to conceal my under eye area. And then I'll go in with a mix of the medium and light shade to conceal any spots I have around my face. That way nothing gets a little too light, which can actually draw more attention to something you're trying to hide. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, and I'm using Dim Light and a Soho Beauty brush as an all-over setting powder. Then I'm using a smaller blush brush, again from Soho Beauty, and Radiant Light, and using that as an all-over bronzer to warm up right underneath my cheekbones, the temples, and underneath my chin as well. Then moving on to cheeks, I'm using Etude House's Cookie Blusher. I think this is in the shade 10, and I'm just popping that right along the tops of my cheekbones using the little puff that comes with the blush. And then I'm finishing off the look with Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie Lip Gloss in the shade Smooth Talker, which is a golden pink, perfect for this rose gold look. And that is it for the first look. Now let's move on to a look using some of the darker shades in the palette. The first shade I am going to take is Mugshot, or a medium shimmery gray taupe, and I'm applying that to the outer corner of both my upper and lower lash line. Moving on to Liar, which is a little more mauve in the shade Mugshot, I'm patting that on my inner corner and connecting the two through my crease, still leaving the center of my lid blank. I'm then going to fill it in with the shade Burnout, just using it as a spotlight color right in the center of the lid. Then I'm going into Nooner, which is a medium matte taupe, and using that to blend out the crease, and blending that up further with the shade Strange, which is a smooth gradient of color up into my brow. Last is back to Blackheart, and I'm using that to deepen the outer corner, so I'm just patting that, and then I'll flip the brush over and use the blending side to blend it out. The rest of this look will be the same as far as the face goes, so I'm just adding some more mascara to freshen up my lashes, and then I'm going in with this lip lacquer from Japanesque in the shade 1. This is just a nice neutral shade to balance out what is kind of a deeper, bolder eye. And that is it for the second look. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I create two subtly different looks using the Naked 3 palette. Please don't forget to check out the review if you'd like to see it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!